Ladies, thank you very much for your time. Thanks so much for coming in. I'm so glad I get to do this because I've done it before on a morning show and I forgot it was that time of year. So let's start with you, Ntomentle, and let's just go through the candidates and the nominations. And obviously, I think this year, I mean, it was quite obvious what was going to be on that shortlist, wasn't it?
Definitely. For this year, I think we can all attest to the fact that, I mean, we've all just been talking about COVID-19, it's coronavirus, it's quarantine. And this year, in fact, this is why we've actually had to expand our criteria as well to check words that would have a cultural significance into actually how we've changed how we live our lives right now.
So, Siobhan, you're involved in the process. Where do you come in here? Do you look for what's floating out there in the ether, what people are talking about most to come up with the shortlist and then eventually the winner?
So what happens is we meet with the PanSALB and then we have the 3 shortlisted candidates that they give us. So what we do is we have our date range, which is from the 1st of October 2019 all the way through to the 30th of September 2020. And then we look at traditional media, which is print, broadcast, and online. So broadcast being radio and television, print being your magazines and newspapers, and then online being your websites. And then we do what we call is a back search, and then we search where those words were picked up in the media and how many times they were allocated within the media. So we literally look at COVID-19, lockdown, and Jerusalem, and how many times they appeared within print, broadcast, and online media throughout the course of the year.
I think I know the word, because they haven't even told me. They refused to tell me. With all bribery that was going on here, they refused to tell me. So let's just take a step back into Ntomentle, and let's just go to the shortlist and how you come up with this. So where are you looking as well? Are you looking on social media? Are you looking at guys like us and what's, what we're talking about all the time? How do you come up with that?
Yes, definitely. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at your social media. We're looking at your everyday interactions, actually. What we do as well is to make a call to the public for them to submit. And we've received some very interesting submissions. We had Zol.
Oh, of course. How can you forget that?
Yes, and then we had You're on Mute, I think, from all those Zoom meetings we've been having.
Yes.
We've had quite a lot of interesting ones. And Normalized from social media, as you know, and the new normal. This is what has also been in the media as well. This is COVID-19 has forced us to live a different life than we were used to. So this is the language, the vocabulary has actually grown. And in terms of our indigenous languages, we've had to go back and see if we have equivalent terms for these words that are now being so used like on our everyday basis.
So it doesn't have to be a word, it could have been a term as well, because you say new normal.
Yes, it could have been a term. Previously, I think last year we had Zondo Commission being the essay word of the year. So it is a term, word, or expression. It is just a word that encompasses the mood, that maybe just gives us a glimpse of what South Africans have been talking about over the past year.
Sanitizer? Did it feature?
Sanitizer did receive. We did receive. We actually did receive, but we had to deliberate and look at the cultural significance. How has the word changed? This is why I said we had to expand the criteria. Look at, okay, fine. For example, if we were to not expand the criteria, you would end up with COVID-19, quarantine, all within the same family.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. So we had to just break it down into different criteria. Okay, let's look at, you've got your Jerusalem, which is an exciting one for us. Yeah. I mean, amidst a pandemic, South Africans were able to inspire a dance craze. I mean, this is just who we are. It is being South Africans. We always find joy in the toughest of times, and I think it just speaks to the resilience of our spirit as South Africans.
If we find some silver lining there, my team behind you, they want to know about social distancing and where that featured in the race as well.
It was submitted. It was submitted.
So, Siobhan, do you physically count things? How do you work? I mean, I'm wondering whether you have people sitting there and doing like a little count or a little. How does it work? What's the actual the process? I mean, you explained it, but in terms of coming up with a tally.
Yeah. No, I think if we had to sit and count, we'd be sitting for years.
Yeah.
So we have a system that helps us. So we load everything into folders and subfolders. So our main folder would be PanSALB, and then our subfolders would be the 3 shortlisted words. So we have COVID-19, lockdown, and Jerusalem. And then from that, we take it month by month. Sometimes we take it week by week or day by day because there's so much coverage that pulls through. And then our system generates, print, broadcast, online, all the clips that were received. And then at the end of the day, we tally all of that up. This was a team effort.
So when do you actually, I mean, I know you said you've got a count from what, a year ago?
Yes, from the 1st of October.
So did you start watching the spaces that you're watching from then? Or do you sit, like just say a month ago, and then look at stuff from a year ago? Or have you been watching it since that time?
No, so what we can do is our system can backtrack or back search the data from, a year ago. So thank God for that.
How many people are involved in this process?
So we are a team of 6, and I had everyone take about 6 months, and then each one got a word. They had to do their back search, they do their research, and then send through everything to me. But what I can add is that Word of the Year got over 500,000 allocations.
500,000 allocations. And is that unusual, Ntumentle, for a Word of the Year? I mean, 500,000, would you have expected more, maybe considering?
No, actually, what was the numbers last year?
Last year with Zondo Commission, it was about 30,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a big one.
This is a big one.
Okay, well, is it time for a reveal? Should we do it?
Yes, let's do.
Okay,
So
let's do
I
it. She's
have
holding the envelope.
Here.
We have no one to do a drum roll. If Arthur was here, he'd have done us a drum roll. Let me do it myself, okay? All right, while you open that.
And
what is the Word of the Year 2020? Okay. Lockdown. Lockdown is the Word of the Year for 2020. Now, I'm assuming that in the context of how this was mentioned, was it all negative? Was it we hate lockdown, lockdown sucks? What was it?
Definitely.
So what were people saying about lockdown?
There was good, there was bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There were people that hated it and they just wanted to be out. But then there were other people who took time to reflect, spend some time with family. So there was a bit of mixed reaction. But at the end of the day, there was the silver lining, the Jerusalem. We are waiting for
Where did that fall into in the race?
So that started picking up, I think, June, July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we ask for who's the runner-up? It was lockdown, and then what was?
Well, you know what? COVID-19, of course. But with lockdown, what it has done, actually, its cultural significance is that we've had to change the way we live our lives. Most South Africans, when they conduct funerals, you'd find that there's a lot of people that attend, but then we've had to change. You have the small groups, and then people were sharing a glass of wine, maybe over Zoom. These are the things that we've actually had to change and get used to. So actually, it is a worthy winner, I suppose, because it only came. We South Africans were talking about lockdown, I think, around March when it was announced. Yes. But it has gained so much traction in just those few months. It just speaks to what it has done. Of course, it wasn't nice all the time. I mean, we've seen long queues outside bottle stores. We've seen long queues buying groceries. It has really, really affected us.
Okay, so what happens to lockdown? I mean, it exists already, right, as a word. So what do you do with it now? Is it?
Okay.
Does it get a little glass case, that little piece of paper, little crown?
So what we've done is we've translated the words. As PanSALB, I think beginning of the lockdown, we've also been assisting government in terms of translating information on COVID-19. So we do actually have these translations to ensure that people understand what they mean, and to ensure that we can actually then put them in our dictionaries as well. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to submit them to our national lexicography units, which they are also celebrating. Today is International Dictionary Day, so yes, so we are celebrating our lexicographers. Those are the people that are compiling our dictionaries. We have these available in all official languages. So what we're going to be doing is we will submit these words for consideration to be included in our dictionaries.
Okay, so lockdown goes into the Hall of Fame. Thank you so much, ladies. The word of the year is lockdown. So if you can, you can spread the word, carry on, let it gain more traction, I suppose. Lockdown is the word of the year. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming in this morning.